I forgot to do my brows. Okay. Hi guys. So, look a little weird right now. That's okay. I decided to just not show you the finished product. I want you to get here and be like, what the heck is going on? Because I want to keep your attention for probably the next 5 to 10 minutes. Decently length video. Also, wearing the space buns in this video for the first time on my channel. Only rocked them a couple times now, but kind of look like panda ears, or if you're into Pokemon, Paris. Anywho, I digress. As many of you are aware, or you've noticed by just clicking on this video, I am a plus-size beauty vlogger. I'm also a body positive person. So, 2 things we have to cover before we go over the subject matter. 1, none of the following tips, tricks, or anything mean that I think everyone should contour their face. I, personally, go a lot of days by just setting my foundation, putting on some blush, and walking out the front door. But if that's not your game, and you love to contour, and maybe you're plus size, or you have a really chubby face, or whatever, this video might be for you. Now, maybe you got drawn here because of the title. If you're here because the word fat and my and face are in the title, I don't think fat is a bad word. I don't think fluffy is a bad word. I am fat. I am fluffy. I am all of those adjectives, but I'm also beautiful and confident and strong. So this is not by any means making fun of myself or anything. I just have a chubby face. I've always had a chubby face. Even as a kiddo, little bitty, tiny whiny 3-year-old Morgan had giant chubby cheeks. She was adorable. And to this day, they are here. And so we're going to go over contouring a chubby, round, whatever, my fat face. This is how I do things. I'm going to show you 2 ways. We're going to do a powder contouring and highlight on one side, and we're going to do a liquid contour and highlight on the other. And if one is more your style than the other, go for it. I prefer powder in the summertime because it's just not so heavy on the face, and it just keeps you really matte. But today I'm going to show you how I do that either way, and this is how I contour my fat face. To get started, we're going to go with the liquid side. The powder doesn't take as long, in my opinion, but we're going to go ahead and do liquid first. So we're going to start by highlighting the under eye area and part of our forehead, and basically any area you want to attract light to. So my favorite thing to cover dark circles and do my under eye highlight with is by Maybelline. It's their Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer for dark circles. Looks like this crazy little doodad. And I use the shade Brightener / Illuminator because I am that fair. But just select a shade 1 to 2 shades lighter than your actual skin tone. So what I do is I start by going past where my eyebrow ends, and I slowly bring that down past where my dark circle ends, and then back up into my inner corner, and I fill it in with the concealer. This thing is not on my side today. So because of the way light hits your face, you want to go ahead and use that. Now for some reason this isn't giving me as much coverage as I want today, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more just right through here. I'm only doing that because I have some really bad dark circles that I want to cover. So right now, just foundation, just eyebrows, and a little bit of mascara from this morning when I dropped Bilbo off. But what I'm going to do is blend that out. And you really want to take your time blending. And that gives you just a really bright under eye. Now, you do need to set that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my Spun loose powder and set that. And I'm going to use an excess of powder. Just like that. So you're going to look a little crazy. And now normally I would do my eyeshadow and then I would do eyeshadow and then I would brush the excess off. So we're going to leave that for a minute. And we're going to highlight with a liquid our forehead a little bit. So what I just did was I placed a small amount of the concealer onto my forehead and slightly under my brow to clean it up. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave a little on my nose and take my blender. Just really press that into the area we applied it to. Then I'm going to grab some more powder and set that. Now, I'm not going to use my blender to blend out the eyebrow because I don't want to go too hard on it. I'm just going to barely tap with my finger to just gently blend that out. And then set a little powder and boom. That is our highlight portion for the liquid. Now we're going to go ahead and do our highlight with powder. This is a lot easier. So this is a contouring and highlighting palette from Wet n Wild. This thing is huge. And it's only $5 from Walmart. Target also sells it. We just bought my sister one. I'm going to take this Real Techniques brush that I love for the under eye and load it up with the lighter highlight powder. I'm going to gently press it in to the exact same area I applied the liquid. Now, I think that powder highlighting only under your under eye is much softer, less perfect finish, but I think that that's a really beautiful look for this time of year. And then we're going to do the same thing, but on our forehead. We're just going to barely highlight. And you can tell there's a huge texture difference. This is kind of similar texture, whereas this is very smooth, very opaque, and really does a lot of coverage. And to do our nose with this highlight, I'm just going to grab a little bitty eyeshadow type brush, use my finger, just kind of lighten it up, and then take a little right under the eyebrow. Now that my excess has sat there on my face for a while under my left eye where I did the liquid highlight, I'm going to go ahead and brush off that excess. And we're going to get down to the liquid contour. A lot of people know where to highlight, but I just think it's important to quickly cover that. So this is now a Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This is the shade Deep, and I'm going to use this to apply my contour. To place your contour, you just want to make that quick fishy face that everyone knows, and you want to go along that line, the high side of it, I would say, okay? And you really want to make sure you're using a contour color that isn't warm or orangey looking. Make sure. Okay, and then we're going to apply some right on the side of our nose, and then as well at our hairline. And then I'm going to take my blender and carve away. And then to really sharpen the line of my contour, I'm going to use this flat e.l.f. brush like this with some Spun powder on it. And just wipe that off. Now that looks a little severe on me in this lighting, so I'll just continue to blend it until it's down just a little. And then we'll go ahead and move on to our forehead. And for the nose, it's a little bit tricky because you want to contour it enough that it looks the shape you want it to, but not so much that it looks dirty. Your finger is sometimes, with liquid, the best tool for this. To soften it, set it with Spun. Okay. Now that we've done all of the other, we're going to contour with powder. This is what I feel is very either super challenging or super complicated. We're going to take this flat brush. You can also use a liquid foundation brush like this. Any fairly flat brush will do. Some people even like to use concealing brushes. So I'm going to take the side of my flat brush, just like that, just enough powder on the side. Make the same face. And kind of messily put a line through there. Then I'm going to wipe off the excess from my brush. And I'm really going to go ham to carve it out. Now it looks pretty severe on camera still, so we're going to take a little bit of time and buff it out with the Beauty Blender. And because of the lighting in here, I feel like it looks kind of severe still, but it's really not. And then we're going to go back in with our Spun powder and carve out the bottom. Then we'll go put it all the way on the flat side for your forehead. And gently kind of tap that out with your blender again. Then you're going to take a wide angled brush and do your nose. And honestly, I prefer a powder contour on my nose. I feel like it just works a little bit better. Okay, and now overall, you get the same effect. It's really what products you're comfortable working with and what suits your skin tone. So whatever works for you, go for it. And it's not going to be perfect each time. Honestly, I would say this contour isn't perfect. But I want you guys to know that however you choose to or not to choose, however you choose or don't choose to contour is perfectly okay. I hope that you're comfortable enough in your own skin to go out barefaced or with a full face, whatever suits you and your personality best. So that's how I contour my fat face. If you guys decide to try and contour your own fat face, tag me on Instagram at TinsleyMJ or hashtag contouring my fat face. You guys are the greatest, and I'm so inspired by everything you guys do on a regular basis, and I hope that you can be a shining light in this kind of negative world right now, and hopefully this is a tutorial that's helpful for you, and if not, I'm really sorry. I'm still learning too. But again, I'm Morgan, this is Tinsley Trials, and I will see you next time. If you're interested to know what else I'm wearing on my face, all of that information is in the description box, or if you like the looks of the shirt I'm wearing, you can find a link to it at Target down below. Bye guys!